Thanks, Dr. Letswalo. I am Manuela Malmata. I'll be introducing the topic of challenges of South African education. The South African education system has faced several challenges that has lasted for many years, hindering the quality of education and opportunities for students. The key challenges are curriculum relevance, language of instruction, access of education, quality of teachers, violence and safety, inequality, infrastructure, and funding. I'll be focusing on curriculum relevance. The relevance of the curriculum may not be in the need of students or at the demand of a modern workforce. There have been many calls for skills-based curriculum that will prepare students for the challenges of the 21st century. Thank you.
My name is Michael Poza, and I will be looking at language of instruction and access to education as factors that hinder the quality of education and opportunities for students in South Africa. South Africa is a multicultural and multilingual country with 11 official languages. This diversity is reflected in the classroom, where learners from different backgrounds with different mother tongues come together to learn. Unfortunately, this diversity can also create language barriers that can hinder learning and affect the academic performance of students. One of the main challenges is that the language of instruction is often not the learner's mother tongue. Many schools use English as the language of instruction, which can be a problem for students whose home language is not English. We see this in the classroom every day. This can lead to difficulties in understanding the lessons, which can ultimately lead to poor academic performance. Another challenge is that the teacher may not be fluent in the different languages spoken by their students. This can make it difficult for teachers to communicate with their students, which can lead to misunderstanding and misinterpretations. We'll be moving to the second point, which is access to education. Under access to education, despite efforts to improve access to education, there are still significant barriers to education for many children in South Africa, particularly those living in rural areas or informal settlements. Issues such as poverty, lack of transportation, and cultural barriers prevent children from attending school regularly. And I thank you.
The qualities of teachers is a significant challenge facing education in South Africa, manifesting in various ways, which are: number one, poor teacher recruitment and selection process. Ineffective processes can lead to unqualified or underqualified teachers being hired. Number two is lack of subject matter expertise. Some teachers lack a strong understanding of the subjects they teach. Number three is high teacher turnover rate. Experienced teachers leave the profession or move to other schools, disrupting student learning. Number four is limited teacher capacity in key subjects. Shortages of teachers qualified in areas like math, science, and languages. Number five, outdated teaching methods. Some teachers may not incorporate modern technology into their practice. To conclude on this point, I'd like to say that these challenges impact the quality of education, student achievement, and the overall effectiveness of the education system in South Africa. Thank you. Violence and safety are also significant concerns in South African education. First one being bullying. Physical, verbal, and cyberbullying are prevalent in school. The second one is corporal punishment. Some teachers still use physical punishment despite it being banned. The third one is sexual harassment, abuse. Learners and teachers may experience sexual harassment misconduct in schools. The fifth one is gang violence. Gang activities and violence affect some schools. The fifth one is weapon possession. Learners may bring weapons to school, posing a threat to others. And in conclusion, these safety concerns create a hostile learning environment affecting academic performances, teacher morale, and the overall well-being of learners and teachers in South Africa. Addressing these issues is crucial to ensure a safe and supportive learning environment. Thank you.
Good day, Dr. Letsalumiteleni. I'll be proceeding with inequalities and infrastructure. Inequalities, these are significant disparity in their quality of education between schools in affluent and those in poor communities. Historically, disadvantaged schools often lack infrastructure resources and qualified teachers, leading to poorer educational outcomes for their students. In infrastructure, many schools lack basic resources such as classrooms, libraries, laboratories, and sanitary facilities. This may have a negative impact on the learning environment and the overall quality of qualified teachers.
Standing before you is Ms. Rangwe, and I will elaborate further on funding. Adequate funding is essential for improving the quality of South African education. However, funding budgets, constraints, and mismanagement of funds can limit the resources available for schools, leading to the lack of essential materials and services. Addressing these challenges requires a multifaceted approach that involves government intervention, community engagement, and partnership with various stakeholders to ensure that all children in South Africa have access to quality education. Thank you.